Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, the video I did the other day showed the money that the church donated to this shelter. And it was technically the 3 shelters, 3.3 million, so 1.1 million between the 3 of them. And you guys see that in the news and you think, wow, the church is so generous. Isn't that awesome? And you forget the criminal aspect of it. Because every Mormon who works here, every Mormon on the board of directors has to pay the church back 10% of the money that the church donated. And so for the board, you know, they obviously get more. And I had heard this time around, after the name change, that this employees here got a pretty good raise. And so if you don't understand, you get 10 board of directors who are making 100,000. I'm sure that's generous. They have to pay 10,000 in tithing, and so 10 times 10 is 100,000 per year that the church gets back from the board of directors. And then say you have 20 who are regular employees, and let's see, 1,000 would be 10,000, so probably 2,000 for each of the 20. So 40,000 per year from each of all the employees together, and 140,000. And so what you can see is that the church is anticipating a 9-year investment in this shelter when they donate 1.1 million for just this shelter, because they will be getting that money back. And eventually, once they've paid off what they donated, they're now making profit off of this shelter. What was originally a donation, now they are profiting off the homeless. And so it's in the church's best interest to keep the homeless going in Utah. Not give us housing, not provide us with resources, purposely keep us here. Reclaim, restore. We might reclaim them, reclaim its people. It's probably not the right word. It should be reclaimed, means to reclaim men, to reclaim the rights and privileges, it shall be reclaimed. Yeah, it's the wrong word. Yeah, I guess it was the grudging gift. So I'll go with the lessons once I get to them. I've only done 3, haven't I? Or is it 4? Giveth grudgingly. Let's see. For every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity. For God loveth a cheerful giver. For if a man being evil giveth a gift, he doeth grudgingly. Wherefore it is accounted unto him as if he had retained the gift. There it is, Moroni 7 verse 8. Wherefore it is counted evil before God. Catch that? What the church is doing is evil before God, because they're retaining the gift, and not only retaining, they're priestcrafting. priestcraft is where they don't care about those of their flock. And in this particular case, they give charity to the shelter, and they're retaining the gift plus interest of 10% after they get it all paid off. And it's so horrible. And so when you saw the news report from the Salt Lake Tribune in the video, where they said that drugs are still prevalent here in the shelter, despite the road home no longer existing, well, it's in their best interest to keep the meth on the walls, on the ceiling, and all over the place, and not do anything about it. Because the little clip that they had underneath the main title was officials recommend tightening security. So when we come in, tighten security on the checks. And when and have canine dogs at the entrances when we come in. And they're not doing it, are they? I've only seen the canines come once. And that was after a shakedown of the one guy. They then brought in the canines, I think, just for him. But the officer did seem to want to find something on me. Nonetheless, that's it. They do not care. They let it in. They let people do it. We report it. I have medical problems from it. They don't care. Because I am a commodity here. As a homeless person, I am a commodity. They make a profit off of me. And people have jobs to incarcerate me. And so they aren't going to solve the homeless crisis at all. So when the officials went to Florida for vacation and called it a business meeting, yeah, they were there not to help us, because they said, oh, it's exactly what we do. It's exactly the same. Oh, you went all the way to Florida to find that out, huh? Yeah, well, then they're not going to do anything else. They're just going to maintain the status and keep the homeless overflowing so that people can keep their jobs and the church can get 10% of any and all Mormons who work here. That's how it's going to be. Keep us sick, keep us drugged, keep us here. And so, yeah, did I mention Gail Miller? There's a Romney on the board, plus the Rick Foster guy, who's the representative for the church, so that the church can, through him, say what they want done to us. And like I said, the church purposely set this all up for me, plus to make a profit off of this. Because I lost the second case in 2020. And boom, in January, they're right there giving the $3.3 million to the shelter. And 2021, at the end of the year, yeah. And so the drug thing from the Salt Lake Tribune was May of last year, 2021. Right after the church had paid. And so the church paid, knowing there's a drug problem, paid, knowing they're going to make a profit off of all Mormons, and paid so that I would be sent here, evicted, because that's what my property manager and landlords have been trying to do for all this time, since 2018, after they got rid of my second wife. And that was the receipt for you guys. The assassination order and the receipt of the money paid. And they're profiting off of it. And it's not just a payment that they're making. They're making a profit. Similar to the advertising in the first one. See, the church is paying her for the advertising, but any converts they get from it gives 10% of all their income. And so it's worth it for them. They get paid, even though they're paying out. It's called an investment, like they do on the stock market. That's a crime. in case you didn't know. It's anti-tax exempt status, 501c3. Not supposed to be doing that.